This week on Outside the Huddle, rest is best as the Saints do nothing during the bye week and still gain ground in the NFC South. Plus, Marcus Colston not only plays the game, he owns it. The quiet storm is making some noise off the field and in the owner's box. Plus, this week's Saints High School Coach of the Week. All that plus all access. Outside the Huddle, the official magazine show of your New Orleans Saints, starts right now on Cox Sports Television. Do nothing and gain. It's not some amazing new exercise regime. It's how the Saints finished out the bye week. I'm Tom Gregory. This is Outside the Huddle. And as I have learned from Daniel Tiger's neighborhood, rest is best. And yes, I'm a father to a 3-year-old. But from PBS to the NFL, rest is best, especially for the Saints. They took advantage of the bye week to get a little healthier and discover some cures for what ails them. Meanwhile, their division was slip-sliding away. As the Saints were idle, the South fell. The Buccaneers became cannon fodder for the Ravens and Air Flacco. Never thought I would use the term Air Flacco, but with 5 TDs in 16 minutes, it's a necessity.
30 from inside the 20. Flacco's going to take a shot.
The Falcons lost at home for the first time this season as the Bears and Jay Cutler dissected the Atlanta defense. Now Atlanta has 3 of their next 4 on the road where they are winless this season.
Jeffrey makes the catch.
And Carolina didn't win, and they didn't lose. But they would have if Bengals kicker Mike Nugent didn't miss a 36-yarder.
They weren't sure. He missed it.
It's kind of a weird feeling. We did, show flashes, but not enough. In hindsight, it's always 50-50. I mean, 20, whatever the number is, who cares?
Saints insider Mike Neighbors takes his 50-50 vision and catches up with the black and gold, who will be the only team in the division that will be coming off a win. A team that is looking to take that W and the bye week and turn their season around.
Now, the Saints had some chances to go in the bye week, stewing over a heartbreaking loss and in the cellar of the NFC South. They chose the alternative. What does it say about this team? You don't play your best football, but you pull out a victory and going into a bye week where this could have lingered for a while.
It could have. It could have been very bad if we didn't get the win. I think everybody understood that. Everybody wanted to close this thing out with the win and go into the bye week on a good note.
It keeps us in the right direction. We got our heads up. We feel confident about ourselves and know this is not the end of our run. We show that we're a strong team, and, when it's a close game, we don't give up, and we're not going to give up.
It's better than losing a game going to the bye week, but, by the time we come back, it's over. This game's over. It's been over. We got to just 24-hour rule and just go into the bye week and our next opponent.
Heading into the bye week, the Saints defense had quite a bounce-back week from its Dallas effort, but they still know they have some areas to work on.
Right now, we all know in this locker room we're not playing our best ball, and we're still winning games. So, doing that gives you confidence, and it gives you something to look forward to once we do start clicking and everything starts rolling. We're going to be pretty something special, but we just got to keep focused on the process, and everything else will come.
Offensively, Breeze and company know they have to do better in terms of turnovers and their performance in the red zone. And while many expect this team to score every time they get the ball, there's a clear difference in the way they're performing this year opposed to past years. But what is the difference?
I haven't really looked that much into it, to be honest with you. I feel like the opportunities that we had to go down and score points when we needed it, we did. We did that in the Vikings game, at the end. We did that at the end of this game. At the end of the day, it's a team effort, everybody's contributing, everybody's feeding off of one another.
All these NFL bye weeks, there's always a fine line. How much do you concentrate on football, and how much do you concentrate on getting away from football?
It's for the bye weeks for number one is getting healthy, and it's also kind of a refresher. Get away for a little bit, but when you come back, be ready to be locked in.
So for now in this bye week, the Saints will have 1 foot in and 1 foot out, knowing when they return, they'll have to be all in in what promises to be a tough road trip to the Motor City. In New Orleans, Mike Neighbors for Outside the Huddle.
Next up for the Saints, a road trip to Detroit, whose defense is ranked #1 in scoring and total yards allowed. And on the other side of the ball, the Lions are led by offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi, who helped the Saints win the trophy named after his grandfather. More on the Saints-Lions matchup later in the show, but first we see what one of the veterans in black and gold does when he's not wearing the black and gold. When Outside the Huddle continues on Cox Sports Television.
This week's Saints Notes are brought to you by Louisiana Cat. Outside the Huddle is brought to you by Valero, proud to call America home. Louisiana Cat, your statewide Caterpillar dealer. And Acme Oyster House, still grillin' and chillin' for over 100 years.
Welcome back to Outside the Huddle on CST. Marcus Colston is the Saints' all-time leader in receiving yards, catches, and TDs. But he may be even harder to stop when he's out of uniform. While he now calls New Orleans home, he's not forgotten about his hometown of Harrisburg, PA. He not only gives back to several charities and local schools, but Colston is also the owner of the local arena football team, the Harrisburg Stampede. Saints insider Mike Neighbors spent a few days with him and discovered the Saints' sure-handed receiver is every bit the hands-on businessman.
He is the hometown boy made good. Yes, signs of Marcus Colston's legacy in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania are everywhere. So he doesn't act like a big-time football player, just one of the guys, huh?
No, yep. Basically, he's acting like the football players, so he just throws around with the players and throws with the kids.
Colston personifies role model, whether it's with the kids or with his many employees with the Harrisburg Stampede, a professional indoor team he has owned for the past 3 years.
It's really having a lot of fun. I mean, it's giving me a chance to really learn a unique skill set and, you know, spend my off season doing something that's giving back to my community.
Yeah, the community has gone hand in hand with his stake in the Stampede, where Colston gives back in a big way. A big example of that is his relationship with Harrisburg University, where he donates money.
How you doing? How you doing, man? Good to see you, Charles.
And more importantly, his time to the student body.
Definitely love to hear what you got.
It's not rare to see Marcus interact with the students on how they
just be like a little pamphlet people be looking through.
Can help him improve his product.
I like those too.
It was a good feeling because, you know, sometimes you can talk to, bigger wig people and things, go in one ear and out the other. But he was definitely engaged, definitely cared about what we had to say.
You've been in a lot of meetings, but here at the university, I mean, you really take what these kids say to heart, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, these are the kids that, are really running, the social media world and really the technology world. So, and they were also, great fans for us last night. So their input is really important to me.
It's, someone who obviously is a manager, right? Someone who's used to dealing with professionals all the time, actually giving back to students and, sitting down and talking to their students and helping them formulate ideas. Yes, of course, he would be the benefactor in the end, but it's actually just working with the students and giving up his time, which is the most important thing that our students need.
Taking notes from students is rare for a professional owner, and so is Colston's imprint on his football team. In the past 3 years, he's moved into a better league and into a better building, a commitment which in turn left a lasting impression with everyone who works inside of it. Well, what has he meant to this franchise?
Everything. The building we're in, the uniforms we're in, the style of play, the type of player. I mean, he is very quiet, but he gets an awful lot done being quiet, and I couldn't ask for a better owner.
So the Marcus mindset when it comes to owning an arena football team, sure, he likes watching the football game, but he also likes to get his hands dirty in every aspect of this franchise.
Sometimes it's mentally taxing, and I'm learning a lot all the time, but for me, it's something that, this is my vision, and I want to be hands-on and make sure that my vision, comes to fruition.
It seems he is well on his way. In Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Mike Neighbors for Outside the Huddle.
Colston has been adding to his portfolio. He's now part owner of the Arena Football League's Philadelphia Soul. Up next, we'll introduce you to the National Guard and New Orleans Saints Coach of the Week when OTH returns on CST. I'm Tom Gregory. Welcome back to Outside the Huddle on CST. In the last couple of weeks, our National Guard and New Orleans Saints High School Coach of the Week has featured Kevin Kelly, a first-time head coach at Thomas Jefferson, and Chris Dugas, a coach who has his dream job of leading his alma mater, Thibodeau High. So this week, as Paul Boron reports, we combine both storylines with a new yet familiar leader at Belle Chase.
Stephen Myers went to Belle Chase and graduated in 1988. His brother and his sisters went to Belle Chase, and now his first head coaching stint is at Belle Chase. So what's that like?
I guess it's good and bad in a way. It's good because you're here, you know a lot of people, but then it's bad because it's the same thing. You kids, because a lot of the kids you're coaching, players, I went to school with a lot of their parents. So it's good and bad, but it's a lot of good. It's good because of the community, and I know a lot of people, so that's a good thing.
Myers has been a coach for 25 years, but this is his first chance to be the man calling the shots. And while some things are the same as being an assistant, as we hear from many first-time head coaches, there are all new responsibilities, many of which have nothing to do with coaching.
Did a lot of the same things. Ran the weight room, ran a lot of the practices and all. And now, my brother was the head coach, and he did a lot of the paperwork. So that's where it's a little different for me as far as the paperwork with the office and all. But everything else is, that's prepared me a lot.
Myers had been the defensive coordinator for the past 2 years, but took over the Fighting Cardinals this spring after Clint Harrison left the program. One of the main reasons he got the job was the support of his players, who went to the administration on his behalf.
Well, when Coach Harrison had left, we knew that Coach Myers had been around. We trusted him. We knew that the way that he controlled the defense, that his system worked. So we knew that if he took over as the head coach, that his system would work as a team effort altogether.
The team was really behind him because he been here living in the parish. He's an alumni from Belle Chase, and the parish like him.
What's he like as a coach? Why did you guys want him to be your coach?
Because he's positive, and he always wants us to be physical, and that's what we like.
Oh, well, that means a lot. When you get support from your players, from your administration, and the community. And like I said, it goes back to that question before about being from here. So that's it's a good thing. It makes you feel good. Just now the pressure's on just to do a good job and to make sure you treat the kids fairly, from the top player to the bottom player, treat everybody the same.
Many first-year coaches find themselves taking over a rebuilding project, but that's not the case here at Belle Chase, as Coach Myers is inheriting a successful football team. But he still put his own stamp on the Cardinals.
Yeah, we had a team that won a lot of games, won 8 games last year. The year before was only 3. But they had a bunch of seniors back, and and we're just chugging along. Now I did change the offense. From the spread to the option, running inside, running via an option. So that's a big difference for him.
Myers' #1 message to his team this year is to be physical. And so far that formula has worked as the Fighting Cardinals are off to a 4-2 start. And now he is the National Guard and New Orleans Saints High School Coach of the Week.
I said, we NBC! Oh! We NBC! Oh! Dick!
In Belle Chase, Paul Boron for Outside the Huddle.
The Fighting Cardinals lost their opener in district play last week against Warren Easton, and this week they'll face another powerhouse in 9-4A Landry Walker. Can you call yourself a Saints Nation powerhouse? Bragging rights now on the line, and the self-satisfaction of a job well done. It's Outside the Huddle's Who Dat? Question of the Week.
Outside the Huddle on CST is brought to you by Valero, proud to call America home. Louisiana Cat, your statewide Caterpillar dealer. And Acme Oyster House, still grillin' and chillin' for over 100 years.
Welcome back to Outside the Huddle. As the Saints mini vacation ends and as the temperatures hit the 70s along the Gulf Coast, what better time to discover a place where the summers are endless, even if it's only hanging on the wall. The Sensations headed to Florida's Panhandle for team building activities, meetings, and to shoot their annual swimsuit calendar. And Outside the Huddle was there. Beautiful Sandestin, Florida just got a little more picturesque when the Sensations went back to the beach for this season's calendar shoot.
Calendar shoots are, it's the beach, you got to go to the sand. We've had some that had a mix of the city and the bayou and that sort of thing, but we decided to go back to the beach, and Destin just offered so many wonderful, beautiful shots.
We chose Sandestin because of the beautiful location. We have so many fans here in the Panhandle.
The Saints are clearly regional. The Gulf Coast is our home.
I love having all the Saints fans in Destin. It really makes me feel like we're everywhere, we're out there. Everyone loves the Saints.
I don't know if it's just the character of the people that inhabit the Gulf Coast. Perhaps it's that we experience hurricanes and we persevere. I think we find that commonality within the Saints and loving your favorite team.
I'm just so proud and honored to be able to represent not only the Saints, but the city and the state of Louisiana and the Gulf Coast region.
I think the best part is being an advocate for the community, and especially being a role model for young people, because we have a junior sensation program that we do every year, and getting to work with the kids is really a great experience for us to be aspirational leaders for them.
These are the girls next door. These are the girls you grew up with.
I think our girls are having fun. I think that happiness and joy is something that you can convey, and I think you can see that through these beautiful girls, and they are from all over the region as well.
But like the players, the decision on which Saints make this roster is made at the Saints facility.
Now I'm the tiebreaker.
You're the tiebreaker.
Oh, this is so unfair. Well, she's in, so she's happy. I want our Saints fans to be proud of their beautiful girls. They dance and they cheer, and they're there every Sunday, just like the guys.
I think this is one of my favorite parts of the team is the calendar shoot. Because, growing up, I would pretend I was a supermodel at my house in the mirror. And so now it's kind of like you get to live your dream for a couple days.
This is the calendar you can take home. I hope all of our Saints fans love it. But even if it's a little girl and she wants to grow up and be a Saintsation, these are beautiful pictures of just happy people wearing really great swimsuits in our beautiful coast in Destin. So I think it's something everybody can be proud of.
If she's happy, then she should go with the smiling.
You have your kind
I
of
love your thought process.
Obviously the sultry, and then this is happy. Yeah, this is more sultry.
So they're sexy, but they're definitely girls having fun in whatever setting we depict for each year and with each calendar.
We shoot over like 4,000 pictures, I think, and we take 16.
Okay, let's go sultry. Done, she's in, she's a yes. When we're working on the calendar, you want to see their inner glow. You want to see the personality come through.
I was going to have to pick just one girl for the cover.
So out of these two, I think that's your two.
Yeah.
But sometimes all the elements converge at one, and the picture's just absolutely amazing.
Definitely.
So we all unanimously agree.
Without a question.
This is the cover.
Yep, that's it.
The Sensations calendar can be purchased online or at the next home game when the Saints and Packers will meet in prime time on Sunday, October 26th. But let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. Up next, this Sunday, a road trip to the Motor City to face the first-place Lions. Detroit's defense has been dominating, but OTH's Stat of the Week has discovered who has a history of dominating Detroit. Saints quarterback Drew Brees. In his 4 previous meetings with the Lions, the Saints have averaged over 40 points per game. And Brees' QB rating during those games? Average 129.7. In comparison, Drew's career average is only 95.2. I say only, but 95.2 is good enough for the Hall of Fame. Get all the stats and the most complete post-game coverage of the Saints-Lions Sunday night on Saints Tonight, right here on Cox Sports Television, the regional sports network home of your New Orleans Saints. I'm Tom Gregory. Thanks for joining us. See you next week outside the huddle.